3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hello, RetroUnlim.
Hello.
What was that, Stuart Ashen?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, we're back again. I bet you didn't expect this, did you?
No.
It's RetroUnlim Live 8 My Hamster Extra with this co and some other people, including Bob.
Hello.
Hi. The console Snob.
Hello.
Who's playing Minecraft.
Fucking right, I'm playing Minecraft.
Michael. Hi.
Hello.
We've also got Steve, Mr. RetroUnlim himself, who's hanging around, so he might pop into the conversation a few times. But yes, what's the server that you're on there, Scott?
No, we can't say the server because every fucking ass clown will be on our fucking server.
Yeah, that's including me. I'd be like sending Snob random messages.
Well, that's the thing now. I've moved into Stuart's fucking server, and that's it now. I'm going to build a mud hut, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to have blackjack and hookers. It's going to be great.
Who's the guy in the suit? Is that Bob, by any chance?
Oh no, that's the troll. That's Stuart. Look, I'll show him. And look, this is his little avatar in Minecraft. Turn around, Stuart. There he is, the troll.
That virtual Stu. Look at his face.
Oh fucking hell, it's Mr. T.
You know what? The likeness is uncanny.
Alright, I'm off to.
I think we got a video. But I'm not going to be with you fuckers. I'm a snob. I got to be somewhere out and away of nowhere.
You join us live for Minecraft chat. Good morning.
Yes, what were we talking about? Oh yes, it's going to be a one-on-one interview, but there's 4 of us here. 5, 4, 15, whatever.
Yes, Michael, I was interested to hear more about your production company.
Yes. Basically, I had a nice little bit of good luck. I've been an actor for say like 10 years now, and I've always been interested in film, television, and I got a break, and a big fan of theatre as well at the same time. And once I basically finished university, because I decided to go to university and learn a bit more about my craft, because that's what you do. I found it very hard to find work outside of like Panto and stuff like that. So I basically put together a production company. I started with a TV show that I'm doing. It's not just on Nerd Genius, the YouTube channel. It's also on my. It's going to be negotiating at the moment with Blip TV to have this series on there as well. It's called This Job for Hire.
Shit!
It's called
it's about
This Job for Hire.
This Job for Hire. Episode 1 is on my YouTube channel at the moment, if you guys want to check that out. youtube.com/thenerdgenius. The series is about a guy who's basically, he's a failed actor. He's trying to get on with his life. He found out he's got a weird twin brother, and on top of that, he has to deal with an agent who's literally like the worst agent in the world and keeps screwing his life up.
So it's a little bit like your life story, but
some hints of my life story are in there. Like, for instance, there was a story about me being, but for some reason, people kept thinking I was gay. The gay community loved me for some weird reason, and I kept around the men. So I decided to do like the first episode about this guy's agent asking him to do Shakespeare, and he's like, oh, you know, Shakespeare's great, blah 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 blah. Because I've got I love Macbeth. Macbeth's one of my favourite Shakespeare plays, and it then degrades, and he goes, no, it's Shakespeare'd, and then turns like, you know, it's a porno. And he's like, no, I'm not doing porn. I'm not doing porn. And then at the end of it, he's like, well, it's gay porn. But you still get paid. You get the maximum rate. And it all escalates from there. Episode 2's coming September the 30th, where Michael ends up going for a job interview, but something happens during that interview to make him lose the job. You have to check the episode to find out, guys. And if you guys are okay with it, I will post it on RetroUnlim as well, so we can get our audience to take the series.
Saying that, it reminds me. I'm not saying that you copied this from anyone, but it reminds me a lot of Spaced as well.
Actually, a lot of it's been I've drawn a lot of what happens with this character from shows that I've watched when I was a kid, which is Spaced was one of them.
Yeah.
And another one was Frasier.
God
because
damn it, Miles.
yeah, but my twin brother is actually not Miles. He's actually retarded.
Awkward.
He's special. He's special. So to speak. You have to check out episode 1 to see what he does, because it's a funny situation, and he does things that most people would perceive are disgusting or wrong, but he's just really childish, if that makes
He
sense.
just doesn't know any better, yeah.
Yeah. And it
So
always,
it's based on Scott, basically.
yeah, and
Blow me,
episode
Bobby.
2's going to be done. Episode 3's I'm actually casting for at the moment, so if you guys want to pop down and do that, you're more than welcome to. I'm trying to get an American actor to play the director in this, and it's a funny little situation. This one's called. This one's actually called Film. Was it the? I've forgotten what it was called. It's literally about his experience. He gets called in for doing a movie, and he realizes a lifelong dream where he's a lead on a movie project, and he's like really happy and everything. And then he finds out that something's a bit awry on this, and then something's gone awry.
It's another gay porn movie.
No, it's not a gay porn movie, but something happens, and I can't actually say what it is because it will ruin the whole episode. So I want you guys to check that out, episode 3, and that's coming in October, and then we've got another episode coming in November as well. So as I said, guys, check out for that. It's
saying gay porn and coming in the same fucking sentence. Ugh.
And
Scott's favourite stuff.
Wrong.
I also, with the production company, I have a film a long time gone that went through festivals. That's going to be debuting on Netflix soon.
Cool.
Already getting the film put on for Amazon for digital download. I haven't decided what the price is yet. I'm going to get it on iTunes, guys. If you want to check it out, it's a really good film. And it's literally about a guy who's done time in prison, and he tries to build his life back up, and it doesn't seem to be working. Things start failing and going down the toilet from then. It was directed by Louis Denniston, who handed the project over to me. I starred in it, and also co-wrote the script for it as well.
Did you write the theme tune as well?
No, the theme tune was actually written.
Sorry.
It was written by a gentleman by the name of Paul Saxby.
Did you sing the theme
I haven't
tune?
forgotten about you.
Do you reckon?
I've actually got a copy of the album on my laptop, and I listen to it regularly because it's an awesome soundtrack.
That's the cool thing about the whole digital distribution thing. I mean, YouTube, Netflix. I mean, you've got a lot of control over.
Yeah.
You're able to put these things out, whereas before you'd be, you'd be relying on other people, relying on TV channels, whatever. You've got an awful lot more control that just wasn't there. That's fantastic. I think it's really fantastic.
Yeah, it's become. I sort of realised it early on that the online distribution thing was going to become the thing. You have people like Steven Spielberg, for instance, who's like, oh, it's killed the film industry, and to be truthful about it, and it's the same thing with MP3s and the whole music industry. It's basically become an entity on its own. It's evolved. And I think that certain people don't like that sort of change. I think Spielberg was happy, working in the business model that he was working in. Where for someone like me, it's golden because it means I can actually start something up. And the whole thing about this production company is I want to change the industry. I'm going to be starting a Kickstarter soon for it as well because part of what makes the production company as cool as it is because we're going to be doing something with actors where they can actually create intro reels, show reels, and have it all done at a very cheap price by myself for £150, but I want to make it free. And the only way I can make it free is by doing a Kickstarter so we can get the funds beforehand and literally book people in and get them to do the show reels, intro reels, their voice reels and stuff like that with us. We provide a quality service, and we've got a director on hand who's myself and someone who can actually help write and shoot something in basically cinema quality. And with the camera that I've got, the Blackmagic cam, it means I can shoot I can shoot the stuff comparable to shooting in Sony Red, which is like the industry standard cam. Yeah. The industry standard, they shoot in 2.5K, which is actually truer than True HD. So we can shoot in that. And I want to do it because I want to give back to the industry as well at the same time. I want to give back to other actors. I want to work with other actors, and I want to help people who otherwise have to pay like £500, £600 for this type of service to get it for free. And it's weird. Most people are like, you're doing it for free. Why do you want to do it for free for? But it's, you know, I believe sometimes doing something and helping others out will actually reap its own reward. So I'm hoping to do that. But, you know, in terms of commercials and doing other like productions for other people, well, they got to pay for it. We're going to be starting that YouTube, that Kickstarter, should I say, very soon. We're opening up another YouTube channel as well, me and my business partner, to capitalize on that. He wants to do a magazine show, so we're going to do that with the equipment that we've got. And basically just keep working and working and working. I want to keep making movies, keep making TV. I want to keep making new, excuse me, new projects, and I want to do something very similar to what the Nostalgia Critic and his channel Awesome have been doing, and that's literally, you know, gain a bunch of other YouTubers together and like make original content. Because I really believe that this is the way that the industry is going now. I think YouTubers probably gets viewed a lot more than television. People have more Netflix subscriptions than they do actually purchasing DVDs.
Yeah.
You know, and it's worked really well for people. You got guys, I think we mentioned PewDiePie, who are making millions off of YouTube, and they literally, a lot of them, and I'm not slating them, what they do works, but a lot of them are just doing it, just acting like children. and it, you know,
I'd already got in trouble for fucking shouting my mouth off with them fuckers.
Yeah, and like Smosh, for instance. You know what? I've got a big issue with Smosh, and one of them is them begging for money. I hate it. I think it's ridiculous. And when it comes to people, it's like myself. If I was making that kind of money, I wouldn't be asking people to give me money. You know, to make an app of all things. Do you know what I mean? It's like you guys have got enough money to actually pay for your own app, but you're asking people to dig into their wallets so you don't have to actually. If you lose the money, then you're not really going to cry about it, are you?
But we've touched on this Kickstarter thing before, where there's quite a lot of people. You know, there's you got to be really careful when it comes to backlashes.
Yes. And
we was talking to Billy and Jay from the Game Chasers about this, about the Cheetah Men fiasco last year, where Greg Pavage was trying to get a Kickstarter so he could finally distribute, you know, Cheetah Men 2, you know, release it out to people who wanted to collect the game, and the original advert for that Kickstarter made it look so bad. The amount of issues they had with it, that it lasted for months, basically, the backlash.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the Cheetah Man 2 situation, people didn't understand why the costs were being done. It's the same with the Mosh situation. They never gave people the... It's like and I'll give the Mighty Number 5 as another instance of this. They let you know what they're going to be spending the money on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you're truthful with your audience will fucking love you and suck your knob, right? And they'll give you the money because you're being truthful with them and you're telling them what you're using the money for. Unless you're Anita Sarkeesian, who thinks that feminism is the, you know, it should be the only reason, and her gratitude and thanks.
Yeah, I saw that video. That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I did a rebuttal on that, and I told her to go fuck herself.
Yeah, when you shared that video a few weeks ago, and I think that was actually one of the first videos I watched, because you joined my Facebook group, and I was like, okay, and then you shared me this video, and I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I know, because as a guy, I am extremely offended by the way that she was talking, and a lot of it, I know two female gamers who can literally kick my ass. Shout out to Nikki Mills and Samantha Jennings, and they, you know, they're really good at what they do, and I've never had an issue with them being female. Their gender has never come up as the issue.
That always gets on my tits anyway. I have been contemplating to get real about it, because even this day is like, oh my god, you're a girl gamer? It's like it fucking matters anymore.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And the thing is, I view other girl gamers as people that share my experience.
One thing.
That's why we basically get on, is because we all share that experience.
If you really want to break the mold, there is a YouTuber called Ashley Amber Bottoms, right? And she's a transsexual Retro Game Collector.
Yeah.
Beat
Oh,
that
yeah,
one
I've heard of
convention.
that.
Yeah.
He has a radio
Yeah.
show as well.
Yeah, I'm not fucking taking the piss. Like, I saw Stevie. Was it you, Stevie, laughing? Yeah, giggling. But yeah, there you go. It's like, that's a convention beater right there.
Yeah. But the thing that really bugs me as well, because I'm a father, and I'm being, this is the first time I've been upfront about this outside my YouTube channel. I'm a father of 4, and I ended up splitting up with my with their mum in 2010. And a lot of this was due to like some issues that she had, some issues I had. But
Your inability to tie a knot in it.
yeah, and a lot of it was due to our situation, and there was loads of situations that happened where I would get assaulted at one point. She'd call the police. Who do the police want to arrest? Me. I'm a man. You know, obviously a woman can't do anything wrong. My children are under her custody, and the law says, well, I'm not fit enough to look after them because I'm a man. And that's not the right thing. If you look at all these women sitting there screaming feminism, you know, we should be given equal right. Okay, here's an idea. Equality. Male and female have the same rights. A man should have as much right to raise his children as a woman should have as much right to go into work and become the CEO of a company. You know, I don't dispute women's rights. I think women should have the right to do whatever the fuck they want. But the moment someone takes the piss out of that right, and that person I would name as Neonita Sarkeesian, because she's basically attacking gaming and literally misleading people with her production values, with her lack of research, with her Wikipedia, you know, chasing research on games, and she's not even looking at these games properly. She did a review of Bayonetta, which looked like a piece of fucking shit.
Oh, I saw that. That was fucking ridiculous.
And literally, and everyone on here, we're critics of one form or another. You know, I critique games, I critique movies, I basically critique. Same as yourself, Snob. Everybody basically here, we've done a review every now and then. That's critiquing. And she calls herself a pop culture critic. I have never once heard her confirm why she's a pop culture critic. Right? She's famous for being a feminist. She's not famous because she's knowledgeable about what she knows. And that's what bugs me. And anybody else out there who want to take it out on us or take it out on me, you know where my YouTube channel is. Come in, call me all sorts of names, do what you like. You know my Facebook page. These guys will give you my Facebook page, facebook.com, Michael Burhan. Come and call me all sorts of names. But in the end, she is nothing but a fraud. And she misrepresented herself. She basically will not allow count of comments on her videos. She won't allow comments on her videos at all. And she sits there and she has basically made $157,000 off of people. For what? Has the production value of her videos changed? No. Is she knowledgeable about what she's speaking about? No. And the thing is, has the gall to say she's going to put this stuff on DVD, pass it to schools, and allow young women. Yeah, young women.
Pass her Bayonetta DVD to schools.
Sorry, guys. Just what did she say about Bayonetta? I mean, what's her beef with it?
She didn't. Well, she made. Right, I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
Her main beef about it is the over-sexualization of the main character.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the fucking game, if you've ever played Bayonetta, is an absolute ridiculous, stupid, over-the-top spectacle fighter.
Yeah,
So it's playing on every stereo. It's done by Sega, but it easily could have been done by Suda51, who's very synonymous with over-the-top, stupid fucking stereotypical games.
Yeah,
if you played like Lollipop Chainsaw, it's that sort of ridiculous sort of over-sexualization of a main character.
I love Lollipop Chainsaw. Just saying.
Yeah, so do I. But anyway, Bayonetta is that sort of Bayonetta is so out there. It's one of those games where you love it or you hate it. I love it because it's so fucking insane. And she basically would pick holes in why. Basically, she was picking holes in the character. Why she had to be scantily clad. Why she had to do this. Why she had to do that. And I was like, well, are you going to talk about the fucking game or just the character?
Okay.
But her tropes versus gamers thing, she did that. She picked apart. Tried to pick apart Bayonetta. He actually did a review before that about Bayonetta. And she literally, in this review, she sits there, blind face. You can probably find it. She deleted it off her YouTube channel because people were pointing at it, going, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, bitch." But she literally sits there blind-faced like this and goes, Bayonetta is a single mum.
Ah.
That's the only positive I can think of. And people are like, you haven't played the game. Because
You
you've
haven't
not
played the
that.
game. No.
Yeah, you haven't played the fucking game. You sit there talking about the fact that you've played this game when you haven't. It's like me reviewing a Ouya game, because I don't own an Ouya. I'm glad I own an Ouya. I'll probably be able to do it eventually after I own the fucking thing. If I'm talking about the Xbox 360, if I'm talking about the PS3, if I'm talking about the Wii U, I know what I'm talking about. I did a review on Pokemon Rumble U on my channel. I know what I'm talking about. I had the game. I played the game. I can tell you my experience with that game. I can critique that game. She never played Bayonetta, and I doubt she knows how to play any of her games. She shows a picture of her playing a Nintendo Entertainment System when she was a kid. That doesn't make her the most knowledgeable person in gaming.
In fairness, I mean, like, you know, the most comparable thing, you know, most modern games, because the way they are, you know, most of them are park your brain at home. Most modern games are 80s action films. I mean, in the sense of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like critiquing the you know, female characters in 80s action films, in the action genre of Chuck Norris. You know, if you went into that and said, you know, in the 80s films of Chuck Norris, how women portrayed, and by and large, they're going to be, because of the nature of the way it's done, they're going to be like, you know, damsels in distress or whatever, you know. It strikes me as someone that's going other way to pick a fight. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Well, like,
that's what she's doing. She's trolls.
The thing is, I know this is going to sound a bit weird. I have a daughter, and you know, when you have a daughter, you start. I come from an all-male family, you know, and when we had a daughter, you know, I started looking at video games, going.
What, you mean your mum was a man?
It's true, she was. It was actually Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was part of. It's twins too.
Hello, son.
Son, I am your mommy.
Who is your daddy? Who is your daddy? Oh, that's right, I am.
Who's your daddy? What does he do? Away to me, your mommy.
Crisp.
Sorry. Anyway.
Are these your lunches?
I'm sorry.
I love derailing Bob. It's so fun.
Any Arnie quote just derails me completely. Sorry, no. I can have the most compelling argument ever, and someone just goes gets the chop out of it. Oh shit! No, but basically, when we had a daughter, I mean, I started looking at, you know, like, you look at games differently. You know, I mean, I know that sounds weird, but you're going like, is she gonna play like Duke Nukem and go, you know, is she gonna realize that it's a parody? It, like, you know, men don't think by and large like Duke, you know, with the exception of Scott. You know, I mean, no. But I mean, you know,
I model my whole man's life on fucking.
But I mean, it's a parody. I mean, no, if a guy went around treating women like that, you go, that guy's he's an arsehole, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, if Anita Sarkeesian saw that, she'd go, well, that's obviously indicative of the man, you know, imposing his will on the woman, and it's supposed to be stupid. I mean, it's supposed to be. Like, at the end of the day, Duke Nukem is an idiot. You know, he's great at serving, you know, saving the universe, but he's the fucking
he's a self-centered, egotistical little prick.
Exactly.
But that's why, you know, from a character standpoint, he's interesting.
He's flawed, but it's a big flaw. You know, I mean, he'd sort the universe out, but you'd still go, he's a fucking arsehole. You know.
Well,
I think she missed that.
But this is the thing as well, though. This is why people love games like Grand Theft Auto 5, because these characters are compelling, these characters are flawed, and these characters are kind of like the anti-hero.
But in fairness, and it's an argument that's been said, like, would Grand Theft Auto 5, if the three characters, obviously not Trevor because he couldn't really do it, but like, would have worked with one female character? I mean, the GTA 5, GTA it can have strong female characters.
It's one thing that I would love to see one time would have a game like made by Rockstar that did have a female lead.
I mean, I would too. You know, I mean, like...
isn't there a female lead in GTA 5?
No, there's a side character, isn't there? There's a side character that pops up for, if you... And sorry, I haven't played it, and I'll probably end up getting...
I haven't gone that far in. The only sort of lead, if you will, female character would be, say, Amanda, which is Michael's wife, but she leaves halfway through, like, the first, 10 missions, so you can't really call her a lead character.
There's a side character that shows up. Sorry, I try not to. I mean, I haven't even played it, but just from what I read, there's a female side character that shows up that does have, a certain part in things, but not a huge one. But I mean, I think it would have worked with a female character. But at the end of the day, you're going, hang on, am I putting a female character in because we need to, balance? Are we doing the Benetton approach that, I have to have this minority, I have to have this, gender in this? Does it propel the story? Am I putting the character in for story, or am I putting the character in for balance? And that's that whole thing. But I do think that's maybe arguable that, the GTA games, you could have a female character. But I suppose that, at the end of the day, like, the GTA games are fantastic. There's an awful lot of really good stuff going on. But they have to say, I want to sell to a 30-year-old, 30, 40-year-old, whatever man like me. I want to sell to 14-year-old boys who shouldn't be playing till they're 18. That's beside the point. And that section won't play as a woman. I suppose there's that. But, I mean...
That's the thing. It's the hard sell, isn't it? And also, when they do... they're not written by women. The strong female characters, the archetype is written by men. Men don't know how to write women.
Well, there's the irony. Like, I love the...
Yeah, then you end up playing Japanese games like I do.
Well, no, hang on. The Legacy of Kain games, they're written, and I can't think of her name at the top of my head, but the main writer behind all those Legacy of Kain games, Soul Reaver, Blood Omen, and all them, is a woman, and she went on to write... I'm sorry, I can't think of her name, but she went on to do the Uncharted games, and she's a fantastic writer. I mean, the dialogue and I love, now they're kind of over the top. I mean, not Castlevania, what is man with a pile of secrets over the top, but they're still pretty over the top. But it's amazing stuff. But in fairness, even the Legacy of Kain games are kind of a sausage fest. There's like one female character. She's actually played by Anna Gunn, who plays Skylar out of Breaking Bad. Yeah. But there's literally one female character in the entire pretty much series of games, by and large.
Characters that stick out in my head recently, I've got a name now, but the female lead character in Last of Us, I forgot her name now. Ellie, that's it. Yeah. And that was really a strong character, but that game has a real strong narrative anyway. But the only other strong female character that has been beaten around the bush for a few years, but now finally come back full circle, would be Lara Croft.
Yeah, but I mean, in fairness, it's Rihanna Pratchett writing she's Terry Pratchett, Terry Pratchett's daughter. I mean, and she's a really good writer in her own right. But she's did the last Lara Croft game, the last Tomb Raider game, and she got an awful lot of stick for in any way making her vulnerable. People are going, oh well, she was vulnerable.
That's what I liked about her. But it was a realistic. Finally, we had a lead character in these sort of action movie style games, which actually felt realistic. When she was getting the shit knocked out of her, you felt sorry for Lara.
But, I mean,
in my opinion.
In fairness, devil's advocate, and someone had pointed out the fact that you don't get male, she gets scared, she gets upset. Male characters, on the other hand, they don't write that. It's almost like she's given a three-dimensional thing that, in fairness, if one of us was involved in some sort of fucking siege, we'd be scared shitless.
I think the only time I've ever seen that sort of scenario where we've had a character going through that would be in Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing as well. If you look at this, if you look at the way that these characters are being written, they're not being written in accordance to having female gamers. And the thing is, not female gamers who usually play these games don't complain. The reason why Sarkeesian is doing what she's doing is because she wants to see if she can actually get people pissed off, and thus give her as much promotion as she can. And look, she earned over 1 million hits for a couple of her videos, and it's you just sit there and think, really, really.
So it's sort of an anti-shock jock approach. Well, it's the same shock jock approach. She's given an opinion that's deliberately controversial, to basically generate opinion and to generate, I guess, attention.
And that's the thing as well. It's they're trying. She's trying to gain as much publicity as she can. And I remember she went on a news program with CNN, and the person at CNN goes to her, "Do you ever heard the term 'do not feed the trolls'?"
Yeah.
It's because she did the spiel that she usually does, talking about how men don't want her in their playthings near their games and stuff. And I just sat there, and the counter argument to this whole thing is, actually, Anita, that's not true. The reason people are getting offended is because there's two different types of critics, right? You have the angry critic, like the angry video game nerd. You have or another one's like the nostalgia critic. Or you have like the ones like on the magazine shows, like IGN and stuff like that, and GameSpot. I don't usually use IGN because they're kind of shit.
Yeah, IGN's not.
But GameSpot usually have a very counter-criticism formula that they use, and it's sort of straightforward. They have a little bit of jokes going in there, but they manage to basically get the stories out there and critique things appropriately. And they never bow to like the publicists, you know.
Sorry, jump in there, Mike. Probably the easiest, like, approachable critic in that sort of sense would probably be the Classic Game Room.
Yeah.
Mark is very good at that. You know, he's very good at throwing in a little bit of entertainment, but also tell you if the game's good or not from his perspective, not from what IGN or some magazine score's giving you.
Yeah. And that's the big thing as well. You've got Classic Game Room as well. But the whole thing that she does, she tries to do the whole thing where she wants people to swear at her and hate her and migrate over to her channel so that they can cuss her.
So basically, it's like the difference in a reviewer and a columnist. You know, a reviewer is weighing the pros and cons. A columnist, you're reading it because of their opinion on it. You want to see what they think of it as opposed to what they they're taking it as opposed to what they think the rating is. I suppose at the end of the day, she's trying to make I'm not defending her, but like, if what you're saying is true, she's basically trying to make a career out of having an opinion,
Yeah,
and,
but the thing is,
she's making a career by inciting a riot, basically.
Yeah, she's misleading people, and that's the problem. And because she's misleading people, it causes a problem, and it causes a problem with everybody else out there. And the reason why I don't like her is because she doesn't understand what a double standard is. She sits there and critiques these games. Well, I'm not even saying critique because it's a lie. She don't critique. No. She sits there and slags these games off and slags these characters and the developers off. When she reminds me a lot of, for instance, there was this feminist who went to Nigeria, right? I think it was Nigeria or Africa, one of the poor countries. He went and helped people, went to build houses and stuff, and she was raped.
Whoa!
And she didn't blame the rapists. She blamed politicians and the white men and people for keeping these guys down that made them into this way.
Was that Margaret Mead?
Yes. Oh. And you sit there and you're like, I really want to feel sorry for you, but I can't because you're being an idiot. You're attacking people for what reason? And she was all going on about, it's men keeping these poor people down, so they have no choice but to do it. And you're like, really?
Yeah, it's kind of misplaced, I mean, whatever the situation is, the person that did it at the end of the day made the decision, that's...
Pulling back on the subject here, when it comes to my point of view, I couldn't give a shit if you're gay, straight, pink, yellow, green, black, whatever.
Or Spider-Man.
Game's gaming.
Spider-Man. But not Spider-Man, he can fuck off.
Gaming.
With his organic Webbers.
Just gaming. We'll just leave the squealers on Xbox Live, 40-year-old squealers on Call of Duty, shouting fag at everybody. Well, fuck all them guys. We'll play our own games in our own little comfort zones.
Actually, you know what the worst thing is, right? The worst thing is when someone got... I think, like I said, this is going to sound a bit weird, right? But when I had a daughter, I started trying to see things from a female point of view. And in fairness, other than Laura Croft, you've got Ellie. I mean, there isn't, there's not that many female, main characters that are gonna
ones, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, the worst thing is, in a way, that the point that she has is right, but she's generating so much shite by the way she's doing the argument. It's just killing the, like there should be a female character that could have been a male character.
Well, there is. Look what Disney's doing.
Well, in fairness, Disney are trying to take the entire children's experience. They bought into the whole princess thing. They're buying Star Wars so they can get your girl children and your boy children. But I mean, what
about Dora the Explorer? What about those? There are strong role models out there.
But hang on. In fairness, Dora the Explorer. Well, forget about Dora for a minute. I mean, one of Disney's main money makers is Sophia.
Forget Dora. Fuck Dora.
Fuck Dora, right? I mean, I'm over a Peppa Pig, Ben and Holly kind of guy myself, right? But Disney's main thing, and my daughter loves princesses, and I'm never going to say to her, oh no, you shouldn't. But they're all like the princess's main thing they want to do is get fucking married. And if that's your goal in life, well, you really need to think a bit more. You know, there's all these Disney princesses, and at the end of the day, their whole thing that they're, you know, like they have a bit of adventure and they get married. You know, and that's I want my daughter to be doing crazy shit. You know, I want her to be fucking saving the universe. I don't want her thinking, oh yeah, I can do a bit of stuff and then I can get married to like Prince Charming. You know, okay. I mean, I kind of grew up kind of anti-Disney. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I was never into Disney films as a kid because I grew up in the late '70s, early '80s. And all the Disney films were shit back then. You know, we the Aristocrats The Aristocrats was a totally different film.
That was a running gag.
Yeah, exactly. We the Aristocrats and Basil the Great Mouse Detective and stuff. I missed that big, you know, I missed all the kind of early Disney shit that was great and the later Disney shit that was great. We had really crappy Disney stuff. So I was never into Disney. But my daughter's, like, that's her thing. And, you know, it's her childhood. And I wouldn't say to her, no, you can't be into princesses. If she wants to be into them, she's into them, and that's cool. But I'm not a Disney person, and I don't, you know, I wish there was better role models. I mean, Dora the Explorer, I guess, is good. She annoys the fuck out of me. You know? Any parent will go, oh, fucking Dora.
I think we're talking about more the adult strong in a game, not about fucking Dora the bloody Explorer.
But she has games. She's part of the gaming community in a sense as well, because
blocking it out.
The only game she'll play is the Disney Princess game.
My daughters do. I've got 2 daughters myself, and they play all these games, and I'm very selective for what they play. If they're on the Xbox 360, they will play. I think the only strong game they've ever played with me is Castle Crashers.
All right.
But I've basically, but what I've done with that, I've let them know what the game's about, so they know it's not real, right?
It's just the new version of Golden Axe. That's all it is.
Exactly.
In fairness, my daughter plays like she'll play Minecraft with me. You know, which is, you know, she wanted to build a house and build a family of that. Yeah. I tell her just, we're not killing the cows, they're just going away for a bit. And leaving leather and meat.
Mine literally, like, I was playing with what was it? I was playing Minecraft and they were building their house, and I'm like, Daddy, can you help us do this? Can you help us do that? Can you help us, like, put the roof on and put the lights in, and we all could, like, you made the bed, Dad, we can all go to, like, to sleep in the house. And they've been good. We have fun together, and I have to make sure that there's no, like, zombies or anything on there. They try to play themselves. They try to play themselves, they end up getting attacked by a bunch of zombies, and they're like,
and then having to sleep in their room for a couple of weeks afterwards.
See this? That's a life lesson right there. If you don't get on with making a house, you get killed by zombies. That's how you be successful in life.
Steel doors, love, not wooden. The zombies beat the wooden doors down. Steel doors, that's what you need.
One of them's 7, one of them's like 5, and I was laughing my head off when they were telling me about this. But I also purchased a Wii U last Christmas because I sat there and I went, right. As a kid, my experience was preliminary Nintendo. You know, my brothers all Sega and stuff like that, but I was preliminary Nintendo. I had my own Nintendo Entertainment System. My parents got me a Super NES when I got older. And you know, when that first came out, I remember my dad basically lit up my freaking life by buying me one of those. And I was like, right, I'm going to buy a Wii U. They're going to experience the same thing. And the majority of games I bought for them, like Tank, that's got no blood and gore in it. They play that. They love that game.
I love that game. I don't have Wii U anymore, but I really did enjoy that game. It reminds me a lot of the EDF style games.
They play as well on Nintendo Land. They literally, the majority of the year was them playing Nintendo Land. Super Mario Brothers U. They've also got the Super Luigi U expansion because they asked me to get that for them, and I got that for them. Then they, what was the other thing they got? Skylanders. They love Skylanders. They're hugely into those.
That's I'll be honest with you right now. That's my gaming guilty pleasure as well. Skylanders. So I've got that on my PS3, and it's just like Diablo to me. I fucking love it. It's awesome.
Well, let me check this out. This is how many I've collected for the girls.
Yeah. Skylanders is scary as a parent. It's like, you know, it's a game that you have
from
to
a parent point of view.
Yeah,
but
Jesus.
Me as a single bloke that don't have any kids, I
was gonna say if I'd been like 14 or 12 or 13, I would be oh my god, I would just be all over that.
Jesus, that's a lot of £15 a piece.
Yeah, I managed to get them all for cheap, so I got them all like pre-owned and stuff like that. So every time I had a bit of money on me, I'd basically buy them a new Skylander. They've got a couple of new ones for their birthdays as well, and I'm continuing like through to get the rest of them and swap force and stuff like that. And it's because of the fact that the reason why I've done that is because of they love the game and they love collecting these toys. They love getting into the characters. They love playing the game. Me and my eldest completed the first one, and the Giants game is what they have on the Wii U, and they love it, and it's a good thing. I try to expose them to all the old games as well, but I don't buy into all the blood and gore and the violence games for them. That all goes to me. If it's a zombie game, it's mine. And my son and my daughters can't play it because I put lockouts on their accounts.
Well, that's good.
They can't go online because I had a very bad online experience where my daughter was playing on her mum's account because I bought her mum Live Gold so she can watch Netflix, and she ended up saying "I love you," and a guy tried talking to her, a very old man, tried talking to her on Live Arcade, and I told him to fuck off. So that wasn't nice. That was like I was lucky I was there. It was like a big horror story.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of horror stories, I think it's getting quite late now, or quite early, quarter past 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I think Harry Yack's had enough.
Harry Yack has had enough. Oh,
whoa! Right,
Steve just.
You woke Steve up.
Hello. It's gone back to sleep again. But yes, I think it's around about the time when we should call it a night. Because, I want to go and get a sandwich.
Oh, we ain't been controversial enough.
But it's been a great time talking to you guys. I've really enjoyed being a part of the RetroUnlim community. Can't wait for the next time we actually meet up to do this. And as always, guys, check me out tomorrow. I'll be posting the movie file. And I'm going to be doing a Q&A on my channel as well. So anybody want to actually ask me a question, you can do.
Excellent.
I'm going to have to chat to you about your wrestling career, but that's enough for a different day.
Yes. Maybe we can do a wrestling special one day.
Well, you know what I'm about, fucking wrestling. Fucking love it.
Oh yeah, you can tune in to me tonight actually on Mega Powers Radio for Keeping Kayfabe, where we're going to be reviewing Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Some Valentine's Day Massacre.
Really quickly, just about kayfabe. Have you ever seen Sheamus? Because I'm Irish, I follow Sheamus, and he seems like the most down-to-earth guy on Twitter ever. I don't think kayfabe happens to that dude at all. He just
Born wrestler you ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, you got these guys that are so in character, and he's just going, oh yeah, it's grand, I'm going for a pint now. You're like, be in character.
But that's what's good about him. I think Sheamus is one of those guys really where he doesn't. I never sort of toured with him. I never met him, but he just seems really down to earth, and that's what you need to be. Like Paul Burchill, ever since he went to the WWE, me and him don't talk anymore. I'm just like one of the other fans to him. But there's a few guys out there, and a lot of them are like that. As soon as they hit fame, they're like, I don't want to. I'm not talking to anybody anymore.
Michael.
Yeah.
Talk about your Eddie Guerrero story.
Yeah, I met Eddie Guerrero when I was in Crystal Palace. I was working Crystal Palace for the Frontier Wrestling Alliance, and what happened was I was doing a match. I was working, training with them. They wanted me on the card to do a dark match because they were going to assess me to see if I was going to continue working with the company or if I was ready to be called up. And Eddie Guerrero this is after he was just released by the WWE. And I'm sitting there lacing up, getting ready, having a conversation. You have Doug Williams on one end, Jody Fleischer on the other end.
Doug,
Yeah, Doug is awesome. and they were like saying to me, "We're going to let you know who it is that's going to be sort of coming to wrestle you in a dark match." I was like, "Oh, cool." And I'm sitting there thinking, "Please not Doug Williams. Please not Doug Williams. He's going to
he's going to beat the shit out of you."
Yeah, and he does. I've trained with him, and if you tense up at any point, he will kill you. But he does it in a way to say, "Look, you've got a man up."
On a side note, I love Doug in TNA. He's probably one of my favourite heels.
He should have been the main guy. He should have been pushed to that spot. Magnus, who's currently their main guy, should never have been there. He's not as seasoned as a wrestler as Doug. I believe that Doug is he excels in terms of a talent. It's a shame that he's not on the WWE's radar. But yeah, back to the story. I'm sitting there thinking, oh god, Doug's gonna kill me. And then Eddie Guerrero comes into the locker room. My jaw hits the freaking floor. I felt like I was gonna, die because this was my moment. It was the happiest moment of my life.
Yeah,
and
probably one of the most pivotal wrestlers in the last 20 years.
He was my idol. He was literally. I watched him on TV like a couple of weeks ago before he got fired, and then he ends up in Crystal Palace. Wrestling for us, and I was just like, and we sat down, we talked. He was walking through this match with me. He was like asking me, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I don't know. What do you want to do?" Because my brain, I sort of had a huge brain fart at the time, and plus I was green. I wasn't that seasoned. And he's like, "Can you high fly? Can you basically get up on the ropes and shoot off the ropes and do this and this?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do that. That's fine." And he goes to me, "Well, we're going to do this," and he starts talking through the whole match with me, and we're going back and forth and bouncing off of each other basically. And the next minute, I come out and I'm playing my heel persona, and he comes out and he's playing his face persona. People are popping like crazy, and we go in, and the match goes on, and he ends up basically slamming me down, going up onto the top rope, and then hits the frog splash because
splash time.
Yeah, he even took my move. I was using the stunner at the time, the Stone Cold Stunner. But he basically, we went back and forth on that. He hits me with the frog splash. I take the frog splash, and he pins me, and he's literally whispering, "Are you okay?" sort of thing like that. And I'm just lying there, sort of mesmerized, still freaking Eddie Guerrero just frog splashed me.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Eddie Guerrero, sir.
Do you know what I mean? I was laughing my freaking head off afterwards, thinking about this. And I went to the back, and people were clapping and cheering for us. And he goes to the back with me, and he's sitting there talking. We're discussing religion because he just embraced Christianity. He was always Christian, but he was actually going deeper into his religion at the time. And he was saying to me, you should basically go over to Mexico, become more seasoned. Don't stay here. Go head over to Japan as well. He goes, "I've got contacts," and we'll sit.
Well,
there
that's where he cut his teeth.
Do you know what I mean? We'll basically sitting there going back and forth on it, and I was so mesmerised I forgot to get his bloody number, which was the worst part. And then by the end of it, a couple of months after down the line, I ended up getting.
No!
What the fuck?
Every word.
Really?
Damn it!
Hello?
Michael, PM us with the end of the story.
No!
Fuck's
Oh,
sake.
dear.
I've been wanting to hear that fucking
Yeah.
story.
4 hours.
Yeah. Shit.
I know it's the whole leave him wanting more thing, but man, come on!
Fuck's sake.
Snap out of it!
I don't know
Quick,
if he's
kick
coming
out of it.
back.
Kick out of it.
Yeah.
So, I think we should call it.
Indeed, folks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we basically got the vast majority of his story in there, so.
Well, guys, don't you worry. We'll
Indeed.
continue the story at another time. But for now, good fucking night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, folks.